It's time for the Equity Equals Freedom podcast on WOBL. And now, here's your host, Rick Rucker.
Well, that's actually false because Rick Rucker's on a plane right now.
Hey, I'm Rick. Nice to meet you.
So today we have Wayne filling in for Rick, who is one of the founders of Investor Source. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But I have to do this disclaimer, so bear with me a moment. I don't know if I can do it as good as Rick, but I'm going to try. The primary purpose of this radio show is to inform, entertain, and educate. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented during this radio show do not constitute legal or other professional advice, opinions, or endorsements of any kind. Equity Mortgage Group is a division of Gold Star Mortgage Financial Group Corporation, NMLS number 3446. Equal housing lender, Gold Star's corporate address is 100 Phoenix Drive, Suite 300, Ann Arbor, Michigan, 48108. Whew, wow, that is long-winded. All right, so I don't even know. Rick's in Philly, I think, right now.
What's he doing in Philly?
He had I think a pretty sweet mortgage mastermind thing that he's got going on. It could be way off, but I know he said that it was pretty sweet in our investor group chat. So
what makes him so good?
I know. He dives into everything. He's done a lot of traveling this year, actually. Jamaica with you.
Yeah, he did.
I can't wait to hear, because you guys didn't really spill the tea on the behind the scenes of Jamaica. So maybe you do that today.
My guy, he showed up and showed out for sure.
He sure did.
Yeah, Jamaica was a fun time. Very fun time. We helped a lot of investors kind of see the light on what was possible.
Well, such a different, I don't even want to say market, in completely different world there, right? So why don't you, Wayne, chime in and kind of tell everybody, who are you? And then segue into a little bit of Jamaica, and then we can talk about Investor Source, because really that was, your creation, our mess of a team is your creation. So tell everybody, who are you? What do you do? What do you focus on? And then let's talk about Jamaica a little bit.
Yeah, somebody said it to me recently that one of my superpowers, apparently, and what I'm getting known for more and more, is being the connector. That's probably, I don't know, would you agree?
I could see that.
Could you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
So, yeah, being the connector of sorts, because basically, man, I go out and I meet people and I put them together, and the stuff just seems to work. I'm 10 years deep in real estate investing, and I've been a licensed agent for 4 years, done north of 1,000 transactions, and just really have fun along the way, meeting cool people like you and Rick and collaborating. And that's kind of where Jamaica came in from, social media this year taking off, and people realizing that there was a ton of value in me and in Cleveland and what we do. So I got invited to speak out there, and then we went. Rick came out. The whole place went crazy when he kind of shared everything that he was doing here in Cleveland and how he could help investors buy houses non-traditionally, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So coupled with my experience and his London Ninja mastery,
marketing too. That man on the mic is incredible.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. We got rushed.
Yeah. Oh, he can he can captivate an audience, and like I've just never seen before. If you're sleeping and you're in an event somewhere and it's not going well, he'll definitely wake you up and bring you to life, which is great for Investor Source. But I'm sure your event in Jamaica, people loved him.
Yeah, just definitely the energy was good. It's very similar to what we have here in Cleveland with Investor Source. That was a little bit more structured, a lot more newbies, people who just really couldn't believe that you could invest in real estate and get the type of returns that we were getting in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So when we spilled the tea on that and kind of opened their eyes, there was like 150 people in the room, and as soon as we walked off stage, 70 to 80 of them just followed us out the door. They weren't even waiting for the rest.
Give us more.
They weren't even waiting for the rest of the speakers to talk.
Well, something that you told me, or I think you did a podcast with someone else who is an investor in Jamaica or from Jamaica. You had said that I heard it was that it takes 6 months to close a transaction in Jamaica.
Yeah. So I had a reel that went viral earlier this year because I said we can close a deal here in 30 days.
Yeah.
And it takes us literally 4 to 6 months to close one out there.
How do people survive that? Like, 30 days is long enough. You know, we put in all that work and then we're waiting for the paycheck.
We're spoiled here, though. We're spoiled here. I mean, because there's a lot of other countries and regions that it does take, 90 days to get a transaction through. But, hey, people make it work. The real estate is very desirable out there, and people are willing to wait.
Well, that's America for you, right? You snap your fingers and everybody wants something done. Like, I mean...
We're the microwave society. Everybody knows that.
I waited in Chick-fil-A line today for 15 minutes and I wanted to off myself. I was like, what is 15 minutes for a chicken sandwich? And all because I wanted to be healthy and didn't want to go get a Big Mac.
I thought it was supposed to be fast food, right?
Right. 15 minutes? I thought it was going to be late.
How dare they?
I'm like... And then I'm like, okay, Jenny, just relax. Like, really... all because... But we're on such this, we're spoiled. Americans are so spoiled. Like Uber Eats and DoorDash.
In Jamaica, we have one of the most famous KFC. Our KFC is world famous, right? And literally, if you Google it, it's world famous.
Really?
Yeah, and you're talking about 15 minutes. You can't get a piece of chicken in under an hour there.
What?
That's how
What do they chop it in the back? Hold on a minute. Let me go pluck this one.
Listen, man. I don't know. It's just
fresh is fresh there, huh?
So we gotta appreciate Chick-fil-A.
For sure. Okay. Yeah. Well, I calmed down a little bit after. I was also a little hangry, I feel like. So.
Were you busy? Were you just got done staging some houses?
No, not today. No staging today. But I have 2 listings going live tomorrow, so I'm prepping for that. A deal I'm trying to save because appraisals are coming back low in our area, which is a struggle.
Jenny the rockstar.
A couple stagings next week, though, so that's exciting. What
else? You want to hear a funny staging story?
Yes, I love funny staging stories. Tell me.
So that house that we talked about, the nightmare of a deal that took a while to close.
Yeah.
You were supposed to stage.
Yes.
So I had it sold. And I forgot to tell the stager that it sold. So now the buyer moved in and is using the stager's stuff as their own furniture.
Oh my God! No, they're not. What did he think? Here you go.
He thought it was a housewarming gift.
Oh my God! Is your stager freaking out?
Yeah, it's safe to say she'll never stage for me again.
Oh my God! Well,
they gotta have you.
Oh no! Is he gonna let her get her stuff?
If she wants it back, I mean, he's living in this. I mean, I guess. If not,
we're not sleeping on our staging stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy thought he won the lottery. He moved into this house thinking he's gonna have to buy furniture. Bam,
I
done.
guess he thought that the deal took so long, we just compensated him with some furniture. I guess. He
didn't even call his agent and be like, "Hey, there's furniture in here."
Nope. Agent. We're still fighting with him right now, we'll see how that turns out.
Oh boy. Yeah. Good luck. Me, I would have been reaching out to you and saying, how's your deal going? So.
In all fairness, she did, but it took so long that she stopped.
Okay.
She is listen, whenever it closes.
The good thing too about using the same transaction. I'm going to give a shout out to our transaction coordinator right now. Courtney Bounds is absolutely incredible. I know that you and I we just talked about this, I think, yesterday. Our businesses would not run effectively if she was not handling our transactions for us on the back end. And she's absolutely incredible. If you're an EXP agent and you are looking for a transaction coordinator, I highly recommend her. She's my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is,
she's the secret sauce.
Yes, she absolutely is.
She is the secret sauce. I mean.
So with that being said, she will know that I'm staging houses for you because she handles both of our transactions, right? And she knows I'm staging houses. So she'll be like, where are you at with this one? This one's closing. So she gives a heads up. So maybe that's where you went wrong.
Yeah, she actually does know, but she wasn't connected with that stager. Sure. So,
and she handles I don't know if you know this, but she's handling all of my administration, back-end work for the staging company.
I know.
Okay.
She reaches out religiously.
So it's a great way of connecting it, but needless to say, lesson learned, use Jenny moving forward. I know you couldn't, though, on this deal. I was gone or something.
You chose to go be on a beach somewhere.
Is that what I was doing?
Yeah,
I don't remember where I was. Yep. Oh, I was in Florida.
Yep.
It was really nice, though.
Yeah. And this is what happened to me.
I'm sorry. Oops.
I'm glad you're delegating, though.
I know. Well, when I wasn't delegating, business was really hard, and I was struggling, and I wanted to quit. So, I didn't realize the staging business was going to take off so fast. And I think that when you start a business, you don't think that. And then when that happens, you're in a situation that you're sinking, you're swimming. You have to figure it out. And so she kind of saw what was happening and was like, hey, let me help you. And I was like, okay, please do. And I mean, since bringing her on and really like streamlining the design business, everything's going smooth. I'm really lucky right now.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's good. And then, like you said, you start businesses, you don't really know where it's going to go. But I think once you find the right talent, put the right people in the right seats,
100%.
It allows you to focus on what's actually going to bring money in.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't even know how long have we been with Investor Source? When did that start?
January. Our first meeting was last October.
Wow.
A year ago.
Okay. So,
happy anniversary.
Yeah, I know. We might have to put that out. Yeah. And that was just an interesting, talk about you being the connector. That was an interesting moment because the people that you brought into that room that day at Icon Cowork, and we're like, I have this thought, like, this is what I want to do. And honestly, me and Kaz didn't really know anybody.
True.
Except for you. I think Kaz had met Rick somewhere at some other networking event. But I didn't know anybody except for you and Kaz. And I just remember and I think me and Rick kind of talked about this on the last episode. I was like, who are these people? And then I was like, no way.
Yeah.
No way am I and wrangling everybody in. Like, I, at that point, was kind of like let's pull it together. What are we doing here? What is the goal?
You were the momager.
Right. And then, to go from there to where we have evolved and what Investor Source has created and what we've all become, my business took off. I didn't even know what my business was going to be, right? Like, I've had my license for 4 years like you. And I've always been with EXP, and like real estate was there, but I didn't know that my interior design staging business was going to be a thing at that point. And it was, I think, through like Investor Source and working closer with you and Isaac was a big part of it too, and Rick and just everybody being like, okay, like what value can you add to this business to make yourself different? And you all had a piece in Investor Source, like you were the investor agent. Rick's our money guy. Isaac is this marketing guru, off-market deal, professional. Aaron's a multifamily. Kaz was resi and then just moved into this
commercial.
Yeah, and which is so good because we just need that. And so I was like kind of sitting here like, okay, like I'm a residential realtor and I can talk.
And you can sell.
Right. I can sell, yes. The sales background has been huge for me. And the communications background was obviously helpful, but I didn't know, like, how can I be a bigger part of Investor Source, leverage us, and, like, what's the missing piece? And then, I don't know. I think it just came to me, and then Isaac, and then you, and we all talked about it, and it was like, all right, like, here we go. I got to push this design side, use what I'm good at, and I'm good at making things pretty.
You are very good at making things pretty. I mean, what you did even at Icon was just amazing.
Yeah.
And that's where, so like I was seeing this thing online the other day. I think it was a reel I saw, and this dude said, thinking about doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Talking about doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Making time to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Yeah. Telling everybody you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. So I think when you decided to actually just start doing the thing, it started working.
For sure.
You thought about it, and you thought about it, and you thought about it. Like, that's the thing in life. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen if we just go out and just do what we said we're going to do? Like, I've been talking about starting a real estate team for years. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I kept joining other teams. And because I don't know why I didn't just.
I don't know why you didn't either.
I mean? And the minute I took just the first step to doing that, business and everything changed, right? So it's sometimes just about doing the thing, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this happened, I don't want to say organically because it really wasn't, but it was like a push. And then I had that flip. I had sold my house and I took all of the stuff from my house and staged the flip. And then everybody was like, oh my God, who staged that flip? And I was like, well, me, duh.
Right.
Hello. And then from there, it was Isaac being like, all right, I want you to do one for me. And then you being like, I want you to do one for me. And then, and then it just caught wind. And then I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. Like,
Right.
I'm not a half-in kind of woman. I'm either all in or I'm all out.
You were hung up on even what to call it for a long time.
I know.
You're like, what should I name it? I'm like, name it whatever. Just do it.
I know. Yeah. I didn't know what it was for a long time.
Yeah. So you're doing staging and interior design, or is it just like all in one package thing?
I mean, it's one business, but I'm doing all of it. Airbnbs have become kind of popular for me, and I think I've done 10 Airbnb designs now.
Ooh.
I know.
Damn.
I know. And to think the business launched officially in June.
Wow.
May, June.
That's not bad.
No, not bad. I have to count all of the
money.
No. No, not that yet. A lot of money went into the business because I had to buy all of the inventory, right? So I can, as of right now, I can stage 6 houses at one time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fully staged.
Fully staged. Yeah. I mean, fully staged to a sense of like, a couple bed. I'm a light stager. Less is more. I'm not out there to like take people's money, one, and to overdo it. Like at the end of the day, staging is to allow someone to walk into the home, visualize themselves living in the home, and then be like, oh, this could be home, right? If you stage too much, you're taking away from their authenticity of who they are, and then they aren't able to envision themselves living in it. So really, you want to do very light, like a dining room table, and like a couple things on the walls, a bedroom, maybe an office, a living room.
Like I think what you did at Rockside was beautiful.
Perfect.
I think what you at first, and then I'm glad you explained that, because at first, once again, I'm not a stager, I'm a flipper, right? But at first I'm like, why is there so little things in here? But then you start to appreciate it because you can actually see the house for what it is.
Yes.
But it still feels cozy.
100%. Yeah. And that, again, like that's the goal is if you put too much in it, one, you're making it look smaller.
True. And
that's huge because in Cleveland, most of the houses in Cleveland area are not big homes, depending on where you're at. But most homes I'm dealing with are smaller.
Yeah.
And then two, people are going to walk in and they're going to be turned off right away. And that's 100% not what you want. So, and they want to be able to see like their furniture in it, not just what you put in it, right? So that's why I'm very neutral in color. I don't make, everything I have is like light. But I mean, I'm working with a lot of other designers and stagers. I'm helping another big named company, and our businesses are completely different. I mean, she uses box springs and like bed rails.
Oh, she's not using tables.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, I use 6-foot tables in case anybody's wondering what he means. And they look like beds when you're done.
The funny thing is how I found out they were tables.
Wait, I don't know if I know this story.
It's not even yours. I just learned to start touching the beds before you just jump on them.
Yes. Yeah, that is a thing. Yeah. People do try.
Yeah, you got to put a sign, do not sit on the bed, you will get hurt.
Mm-hmm. This is it's like Barbie furniture, not...
I'm glad you're doing more Airbnbs because I want to get more, especially with like Rick's new programs with like the DSCR stuff, the no seasoning stuff, like his entire, fund, like all his funding programs for investors make it easy to get into that type of stuff, especially if you know what you're doing. I
know. The funny thing is I think people who are trying to enter the business don't realize that, which is why they should come to Investor Source.
True.
Right.
The first Thursday of every month that I come.
At 5 o'clock, yes.
At 5 o'clock, yeah.
Because the whole point, and we can segue right into that, the whole point of Investor Source was to help people, anybody. Like, I think there's a lot of confusion around Investor Source, and people think that you have to be like a realtor or already an investor or, like in the business in some form. And actually, that's not the case. You could be anybody. You could be our radio guys right here that are behind, the camera that you can't see that are helping us. But maybe they are bored when they're done dealing with us every day and they want, to do something fun and like maybe have some more money coming in. And this is for anybody who maybe has a little bit extra cash or, wants to just make more money and learn how to flip their first property. I mean, this is exactly where you would go.
It's for everybody. It's for beginners, experts, everybody in between. Sometimes you've met all the people. Like, people think, oh, I've met all the people in the networking meeting. Sometimes it's about re-meeting somebody because that person's probably evolved and you don't know what they're doing right now. And
that would be me.
Yeah.
6 months ago, I was just a residential realtor.
Yeah. Now you're now Jenny.
I grew.
That Jenny.
Yeah. It's not in tall, not in like length, right. but right. I grew as a person and professionally 100%.
Yeah. I used to network so much, and I've been around. Most of the real estate professionals in Cleveland will know who I am. I'd like to think I'm like one of the OGs.
Yeah, you're one of the originals.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a newbie.
But then it's like I'm still meeting guys that I haven't seen in years and like, man, what are you doing now? And, boom, our businesses can collaborate in some type of way. So I think people need to realize like one of the biggest things that you can do and best things you can do when you're getting started or even as you're going along in your business is continue to maintain those relationships and cultivate your relationships because that's really what's going to help your business grow.
100%. I couldn't agree with you more. And again, like Investor Source is the best place to network. I mean, we meet new people every time, and that I think we did not a survey, but okay, so at Investor Source we ask everybody to raise their hands, and we're like, "Are you a realtor?" And then we like to see who's in our crowd, who's coming, and then we ask people, "Is this your first time coming?" And we often get a large amount of people that it is their first time coming.
It's legit the fastest growing networking event. Not even growing. I can't even say growing anymore. It's the biggest networking event for real estate professionals in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Straight up, hands down.
Yeah. And the other thing we ask is, where are you from?
Where'd that person say somebody came from Vegas, drove from Vegas or something?
I don't even
Toronto.
I think so. Canada. We've got yeah.
We have people come from Israel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Found out about. I'm not saying they flew here just for the event. But they timed their trips.
Well, I am.
they timed their trip just to be able to attend while they were here.
Yes.
So that and they got tremendous value out of it. I know a couple of them that did deals just because they came.
Yeah.
So
I would agree that people come, I think, just not just for that, but they plan their trips around it, and they come back for that.
Isaac and Aaron do the live deals.
The deal room is absolutely awesome, and that's just, off-market and on-market deals. And if you're an investor or you're a real estate agent and you have a deal that you want to market, that's a deal. That's the whole point. It's not, you have a Strongsville house and you're listing it for $350,000. It's not a deal. But an actual deal where
It can be, but, we want to promote investors and, as an investor, you do want some meat on the bone, right? You want something that you can work with.
Right.
I've been buying stuff that's a little higher price, but that's because it's a different strategy. Even if you're going to do an Airbnb and you buy a really nice home, that's because that model and that strategy is higher earning, so you can pay a little bit more.
For sure.
But for the most part, our deals that we're presenting need to be attractive, off market, and people can make money. And so far, so good.
Right. The goal is for investors to have something, that they can walk away with and use as an investment property. So, yeah, the deal room is good. I think it's going to get better, too. I think that we've talked about it, and we're growing, and we're figuring it out, and we're dissecting Investor Source. And so every month we meet every week.
Yeah, planning sessions.
Planning and what's working, what's not working. And so with that, it's okay, how can we make the deal room better, right? So, that's always our goal, and it should be anybody's goal, is growth opportunity. How do we become better? And Investor Source, that's exactly what we're trying to do.
So, like next month, we're talking about, fix and flips?
My favorite. I'm so excited.
And you're just plastered over the
I'm
the
everywhere
flyer.
right now. It's a little
Did you see those
weird.
reels? You're killing it.
Well, Charles said today, he goes, hey, like, how is your marketing going? And I'm like, like, I'm trying. And he was like, well, like, we should talk because he has. So Charles, just so everybody knows, took over all of our marketing for Investor Source. And he's incredible, amazing. And he goes, well, we should talk because you're pretty and people like to follow you. So I'm like, oh, all right. Forget that I try and make other things pretty. That's all. People just want to look at me. They don't want to listen to me. They just want to look at me.
Just stop talking. So, the fix and flips, do's and don'ts. We're bringing on an appraiser who's also an investor.
I can't wait to talk to him.
He brought, you remember when he, guest featured a couple months back on the Airbnb one?
Oh.
We pulled him up out of the crowd.
Yes.
He guest featured, and he dropped bombs in 60 seconds.
I didn't realize this was the same person.
Same person.
This.
He talked about when you're adding square footage and how high the wall should be to have it count on the appraisal, really valuable stuff.
I love our team because they came up with bringing an appraiser on because you and I both just had deals. It was you. Of course it was you. Because you and I both had deals that didn't appraise.
Yes.
And if you're an agent, if you're not an agent, but if you're an agent, you realize how detrimental to a transaction and a deal that this could be. And it affected my deal 100%, right? I mean, it affects what I'm making on the deal. It affects what my seller's making on the deal.
It just affects everything.
And so, I had a phone call with an appraiser on Monday because I'm like, now it's an FHA, so I need a second appraiser. And I'm like, hey, can we talk? What am I doing? What do we do? How do we get on the same page?
Yeah. The good thing is that this guy is not just here's what I like about our group and then the people we bring on. He's not just an appraiser. He also flips houses himself.
So he knows what the value add.
So he knows how we're thinking.
Right.
He understands where we want to make the money at and what we need to do. So it's honestly like a little cheat code, to be honest.
I love this.
We'll come in and say, hey, do this, do this, do this. If you're going to run comps, run them this way. Look at these things. You know what I mean? So a lot of tips and tricks. Then we have Doug Shelton. Mm-hmm. Doug is I haven't
met Doug before.
He's an OG. Mm-hmm. OG. Badass. And he's a bad guy. Bad. Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to get fined. I'm just kidding, Rick. Well, I'm just kidding.
So he's an OG, and he is he used to flip houses. I think he does still flip houses in Cleveland, and he flips in Florida. So he's the guy.
So he knows exactly what we need.
Yeah. So, and then there's you. You make everything pretty, which is what you need to do to,
Yes, to fix and then flip it and at least get a return on what you're doing.
Yeah, and then Isaac and I will host because Isaac is really good at bringing those opportunities to the table, right?
Yes.
And believe me, one of my strengths is coming up with a solid scope of work.
Right.
Do this, don't do that.
Well, and you also have all of the connections and know the money points on what things cost and where is it going to go and what are you losing and same is it going to be worth it, and I know that you and I don't always see eye to eye on those things, but that's okay. This will be fun.
No, I think we can find good middle ground. I mean, people say I over rehab. That's fine.
Sometimes you do.
Hey,
your name's on it, so I think it's different for you when you're doing it.
For me, it's insurance.
Yeah.
It's I it's never a question of if it's going to sell. It's just how much am I going to get,
Well, and you just did that one in Garfield on Rockside. And
I sold.
And it went, your asking or your offer, right, was up there. And then your appraisal was nope, we're going to bring you back down to reality.
It's still sold for over asking.
Which is all we can ask for.
And it's the highest sold comp for a bungalow in that street.
I just used you as a comp.
I know you did. You're welcome.
Let's hope it works. That's the problem.
Yeah. But, I don't know how that. This is what I don't understand about appraisals, which is what I want to ask the guy. If you have a house like the one I did that sells for that much, and then you have the house the one you're selling that's priced significantly below, and how does he appraise it for even less than you're asking? and you have one that's sold for 30% more.
I wish I understood, because I'm literally in the same boat right now. I don't get it.
Even I set a comp for another house I'm selling, and I'm like, okay, great. I set this comp, so I know exactly what I can sell the other one for. And the appraiser's like, yeah, that's what you thought.
Well, I want to know what he thought. Well, there's, I don't know. But you also had one that came back like a $13,000 difference from the first appraisal to the second, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
We're
talking
going to get
about.
some angry calls from appraisers after this.
Bring it on, man. I want answers.
Just explain.
I want answers.
Teach me.
The one appraiser said, well, it was 500 square foot smaller. I'm like, if it's 500 square foot smaller and it's sold for $20,000 more, you're going to appraise something that's bigger for less?
Right.
Why?
Yeah, I kind of got that, but the reverse end. My guy said the house that you used as the what he was using, the house was smaller by like 100 square feet. Come on. You can't even count that at that point. And then, he said the updates were nicer, which I did not approve the updates on this listing.
Oh, well.
But
yeah.
But I'm like, what's so that's it? Like, that's you're set. That's your price.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see it. But again, I think we're seeing a shift in the market right now. And I think that's why this is happening. And so I think come spring, there's going to be a big shift and big changes, and we're going to start seeing it.
I don't know, man. Prices are, it's funny. Rates are high and prices are still high.
Yeah, but prices are you watching all of these decreases in pricing, the drops? Because agents are listing them and people just they're not buying
That's
anymore.
also, though, I think from the agents that are just overzealous. Like, they're just listing stuff too high regardless.
Yeah, calm down.
They're just like, let's see if we can. I'm like, this is not 2022.
No, it's
Calm
not.
down.
It's changing for sure.
So,
I still think we're going to see a little bit of a shift, but I would agree there are definitely some agents that are overlisting.
The thing is, I think what we're gonna see over the next couple of years is all the people who are stuck in the 2%, because they can't sell to anybody. They paid a lot. They got low interest rate, which is great.
But they paid too much.
But they paid so much for the houses,
There's
and
no
now
equity.
There's no equity, and if they want to move, they can't. Equity is not.
They can't afford it. Either way,
Equity doesn't equal freedom for them.
No, it does not. Hear that, Rick?
So that, I think, you got to think, like, one big life change for somebody in that position, and it's foreclosure.
Yes.
Because the rent won't cover the mortgage.
No.
Because they just paid so much.
Yep.
And they have no equity. So even if they sell, they got to bring money to the table.
And this is that like post-COVID moment where everybody was just like, not thinking, just wanting to like make a move, and that was the move they made.
Everybody was just like, what? Next to free money?
Right.
Give it to me.
Yeah. Oh, but you're paying more. I mean, in all reality, if you think about it, it equals out to where we're at now. Higher interest rates, I don't know, a little bit better purchase prices, right?
Yeah.
And then it was low interest rates, but you were paying out the butt. I almost did it. For these houses, So I don't know. I'm hoping that we just see a bit of a change in the spring. I'm hopeful for it. Again, everything that me and Wayne are talking about are our opinions on us just being in the industry and what we're watching. But
I think it is a good time, though.
To invest
from a negotiation standpoint. So even if prices are like apparently high, I think that the owner and sellers are a little bit more motivated now because they're not having as much activity. So they always say, date the rate, mirror the house.
Right.
It's a good time to like put your offer in. If you know you need to be at a particular number, put your offer and you might just get it accepted.
For sure. Versus, and I will say, and I a couple of my listings recently, I noticed this. I had agents reaching out to me, and they were like, do you have offers? And, and obviously I would respond if I had offers or if I didn't have offers. And then they'd be like, all right, and they wouldn't want to write an offer because there were offers on the table. And I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. Don't do a disservice to your client. Write the offer. It takes 2 minutes to write an offer. Or, I mean.
So I always say that, they always say, do you have any offers? And I say, I've been told that I have some coming.
Right. Yeah. Well, for sure.
That's
100%. Yeah.
So, because they don't want to get into a bidding war. They don't, they're looking at the prices, they're looking at the rates, they're looking at everything.
But they don't know. You don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and if I say I have an offer on the table, it doesn't mean that the offer is at asking or over asking. Don't assume. Write your offer. Don't do a disservice to your client. Write the offer.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah, 100%. You miss, what's the saying? You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like recently I offered on a house off market, and then the guy was like, "Oh, somebody else outbid you," and I'm like, "All right, cool." 2 weeks later, hey, deal didn't go through. You still interested?
Oh my God, this was just me. This was literally just me.
I'm like, well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tail between legs. And
Yeah.
But that's just the business. And if I think you're a good agent, you do what you have to do for your client. And, I mean, I'm learning. Every day I'm learning in these transactions. And I talked to an agent who's been in the business for a long time, and they were like, you know what? Like, it doesn't matter. They're all different. Every single one is different. And I had this one going through that when I told you they wanted an engineer to come out to, and I'm like, it's going too smooth. Like, this is going way too good. Why? Something's going to happen. And sure enough, there's the call.
Exactly.
I'm like, come on, man. Like, can we just get an easy one?
It always happens.
We sure do earn our money on these deals, though. Before I was a realtor, I don't think I respected the business. And it was like, oh, they just put a sign in the yard and,
And the house sells.
The house sells itself.
And that's it.
Yeah, like no big deal. What they do. And now I'm like, oh my God, I'm having nightmares.
Real estate, I really think real estate, it's just like playing chess. It's so strategic. You got to know, sometimes really to be successful, you got to know what to do first before you do something else. And,
I'm thinking of another analogy because I am not a chess or a checkers player, but yes.
Well, it's simply saying that you have to be strategic
100%.
in order to win.
Yeah, I like negotiating. I like sales way too much. So that's probably part of why I'm pretty decent at what I do.
You push back a lot?
No, I don't. I really don't. Here's my thought. And I went to EXPCon in Vegas, and it was absolutely incredible, and I took so much out of it. But I sat in a negotiating room where we talked about negotiations, like where are we at and what are we doing, and it was so good because I felt like that's me. And it was, at the end of the day, we are all in a transaction to get the deal done, right? Like, we don't want to argue. I don't want to argue with anybody. I don't want to fight with anybody. Like, I want to do what's best for my client. And then, on the other side, it's the same thing. And so the goal is to get it done. So what can we do to meet in the middle to make it work where it's fair? I'm all about fair. I teach my kids how to be fair. Life might not be fair, but if you try and be as fair as you possibly can, like, you're one-upping everybody else, just do what's right. And so for me as an agent, I'm all about doing what's right.
Win-win deals also.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like, let's work together. Nobody wants a deal to fall apart. Nobody, you know what I mean? Like, and you set up, I don't know what the word is, like, you set a base in the beginning. Right? Like, this is what I want for the house. I'm listing it. You're not flying in blind. You know what I mean? Like, This is what I want. And then your client makes an offer, and they're like, well, this is what I'm willing to pay. All right, great. That's the hardest part, is figuring out what someone's trying to tell you they want and what you want. Now we know because you just put it in writing. Now we know what they want, and then it's like, all right, great. Let's negotiate and do what's best for everybody in the middle.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Investors don't always think that way, but yeah.
I'm sure they don't, which is why I love you guys.
They're sharks, man.
Oh, and I mean, I just took on 2 new investor clients who've been great so far. But yeah, I mean, I'm already seeing like where some of my stuff is not like where their stuff is. And so
yeah, a lot of agents get really uncomfortable. Like if something's listed for, let's say, 100,000, and we're like, yeah, just offer them 40. They're like, what?
Oh, I think you had me do that for you before. And
Did I?
Yeah.
Really?
Remember Belvoir? Which we probably could have gotten, actually.
You remember that?
Yeah. No, you did. And I'm like, that they're asking like 160. And you're like, yeah, offer them 40.
No. But then we did, like, I think Shakita sold that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it was a good deal. And then they got a really good deal on it.
Oh, way lower than, because I had you come to that house because I had I had a client that was trying to buy it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I already knew that would have been a deal because I sensed the motivation from the seller.
Right.
And that's something that is another like skill that you learn to pick up over time.
Yeah.
Is like understanding where people's pain points are
and then taking advantage. I'm just kidding.
Did you see our reel? That meme that we posted on the Investor Source
with the millennial or the
millennial.
Yes, we're getting funny.
Celebrating. It's essentially that.
Yeah.
You know, they're not losing.
No.
Yeah. People who bought like pre-COVID, doesn't matter what they sell for right now, they're still going to be up.
I would agree.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's why, everybody wins.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what's going on with you? What do you have going on right now? Where are you at? You're kind of quiet on social media lately.
Yeah, I'm restructuring my social media strategy. That's what I'm doing.
Wow, that was like a lot. Restructuring your social media. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So when I reintroduce myself to the world, it's going to be bigger and better than before.
Okay. Because you were doing good.
And I'm going to do better.
I love that for you.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
I do.
So we are currently working on a lot of things on the back end, a lot of valuable things. I've hired a lot of people. Not a lot, but a couple people.
Sure.
And we're planning out a big launch.
Yeah.
So it's going to come here soon.
All right.
And so that's the social media stuff.
And you're now a solo agent.
Definitely now a solo agent. And launching the team.
Okay, so that is a thing. You're going to launch your own team.
Definitely a thing. I'm not hiding it anymore.
And you're with EXP.
I'm with EXP Realty. I am definitely focused on trying to take, like right now I've just been doing everything myself, right? Like you said, you brought on Courtney. Courtney's been a big help, but it also showed me that, like, I do construction too. So in my construction business, I just didn't have enough people. I didn't have enough processes. So now I've delegated a lot of things, and things are flowing. Mm-hmm. We used to be able to only do 2 or 3 projects at a time. Now we're doing 4 to 6 at a time, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Right. So there's that. And I'm getting into, businesses as well.
Yeah.
Not just buying real estate, but buying businesses.
Well, you said that you were talking about commercial building.
Yeah. So Cass is actually helping me buy a commercial building in Akron.
I love that.
So
good. Yeah. It's been, I think, a really big growth year for a lot of people, but specifically for the Investor Source team.
Yeah, we're like the real estate superheroes.
I just feel like once the team started, like again, we sat down in that room, and that was that moment where I was like, no way am I working with these people.
They're nuts.
They're nuts. Like everybody was like, everybody's so high energy, right? Cass is the quiet one.
Yeah.
For sure, but everybody else aside from Kaz is so high energy, and I'm high energy, and I was overstimulated. I'm like, there's no way. And then obviously, like,
well, we push each other. That's a beautiful thing.
And so that's what I was getting to is like, I think we've all grown so much because we're all watching each other, and then we're all pushing each other, and we're all leveraging each other, and those are the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with. Yeah,
it's all about your network. I mean, even if it's not in real estate, man. I mean, for anybody listening. Like it's really, you gotta just invest in your network. Like who is around you that's holding you accountable, bringing you resources, bringing you value. Who makes you feel good, and not just feel good, because sometimes we aren't going to make you feel good. But who's going to tell you the truth? Who's going to be constructive? Well, that's what I love about Investor Source. Yeah, like if I'm messing up, one of you are going to be like, "What are you doing? Like, take that post down." Yeah. And not such a nice way either. No, but you do need that, because you don't just need people. And I don't know where I heard this, but probably multiple places. And they said, like, if you're going to be in partnership with someone, like a business partnership, you don't want to be in a partnership with someone who's just like you. Yeah. Right? Like, you want to be in a partnership with someone who's like a lot different than you, because there's never going to be like there's no growth in that. You're just going to keep doing the same thing that, you both do. You never want to be the smartest person in the room. Yes. Never. I feel like that's not usually the case for me, so I'm fine. And usually which is good, but again, Investor Sources, I think, part of that. There's so many different people in that room. Like every single... I'm the dumbest person in the room. Well, that's how I feel. I'm glad to. I know, me too. I'm okay with that. Like, feed me. Yeah. It's like me golfing. I don't want to golf with people who are worse than me. I want to golf with people who are better than me so I can learn something. That often is not the case, because a lot of people suck at golf, but... lot of people suck at golfing. The last time we went out golfing, oh my God, the guy had to tell me, we do not allow jeans on the course.
You did not wear jeans to golf.
I definitely wore jeans. I'm like, dude, I'm not a golfer. I don't even know what I was supposed to wear. So, yeah.
Are you golfing with that, like...
Grayscale?
Yes.
I filled in a week.
Oh, okay. Because I thought I saw you, and I'm like, wait,
I was supposed to fill in today, too, but I'm like,
this or golf. Yeah. And if you're not a golfer, then it's fine. They said you can't wear jeans on the golf course.
They definitely told me
Well, yeah. Can't say I've ever worn jeans on the golf course, but that's okay, you know?
I won't look as good as you in a skirt, so jeans it was.
I should try it. I'll be the judge of that. How was that? How was that golf thing? I was invited to it. I was invited to play on it, but I asked him if there was any other women playing, and he said no.
You fit right in, don't worry.
I was like, I think I'm going to sit this one out because I could only imagine how those events go. And while I love networking and I love golf, I don't know that I should be the only female on a golf course with all of those men.
You know, you get a lot of staging jobs.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of listings, too.
I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to just keep going the route I'm going to get business.
Yes. Networking, man. That's
I'm doing okay. I really am.
Networking, that's all it is.
Yeah, and it's golf, and that's super fun. Maybe we should do an Investor Source golf outing.
Yeah, or we sponsor a hole or something.
That could be fun. Yeah. How about our Christmas party?
Oh my God, that's gonna be so much fun.
So I don't know that we've like officially announced it, but I sometimes have a big mouth and like to put things out there. So Investor Source is having a Christmas party. I did make a teaser post about it when we went and checked out the venue last week. So we went and checked out the venue. Rick crushed it in picking out where we're having it.
Yeah, I love that space.
I know.
It's so amazing.
What's it called, though?
Gordon Green.
Thank you. And it was beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm so excited. So tickets are free, and we're feeding you, and we're giving you booze. So like
open bar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right. Investor Source is taking care of you, for sure. Rick and Isaac are sponsoring, right? I think. And we're just going to have a lot of fun and just celebrate the year. We want to do it with our clients and the people that have been consistent with attending Investor Source and supporting us. And this is like our thank you. Let's celebrate and have a good time. You guys are more than welcome to join us. The guys behind helping us with this podcast are amazing. We love them. But this is open to everybody who wants to come that is a part of our Investor Source family or wants to become a part of our Investor Source family.
Next year is going to be a big year for us, so I definitely I want to see people show up to the Christmas party, enjoy yourselves, make connections.
Yeah.
Because Investor Source is growing, it's evolving, and it's eventually going to become something that you're going to want to be a part of. So you might as well align yourself early.
I would agree. And again, we're celebrating, right? We're celebrating just an amazing year that we've all had. And we want to do it with people who've been a part of it with us or want to be a part of it. I mean, really, it's open. Yeah. And then just be ready for next year because Investor Source has a lot coming and a lot of good stuff that's going to be happening. And we're really excited to start announcing those things in the near future. And it's going to be, I'm really terrible at this, the date.
December 8th?
It's on a Friday?
Is it? I don't remember. This is horrible. How are we promoting something we don't know what day it is? But
it sounds right.
I think it's December 8th. I mean, we could be wrong.
It's also the first day of Hanukkah. I didn't know that.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with that date and hope it is. But if not, you can Google Investor Source. We have a website that we just launched, too. Oh, my God, there's so much good things happening. Investor Source officially has a website, which is super great, and it gives you information about who we are, information about what we're doing, and information about all of us, the founders of it. So our Christmas party will be on there. Also, we're on Instagram.
Yeah, investorsourcecle.com. You can go there and
because I might be way wrong on the date, but I think it's the first week in December.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram. It'll be there.
Yeah.
InvestorSourceCLE.
For sure.
And investorsourcecle.com. Or just follow Jenny.
I know, because I just talk about everything. There's no missing any. I mean, I'm nonstop posting, especially lately. I was slacking for a little while. I went through a moment of just like blah, where the business was too much and I couldn't keep up, right?
Yeah.
And I was overwhelmed. And so when I got overwhelmed, I just shut down. And I wasn't on social media and I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. And I'm back and I'm as annoying as ever. So if you need the tea on Investor Source, Jay Bella, Icon Co-work, Wayne's Business, real estate,
everything,
residential listings, what colors you should be using and what colors you shouldn't be using, I'm your girl. And I'm going to say this on our podcast because I've been posting it everywhere and people are not happy with me. But I'm going to say it and you can thank me later. Gray is trending out.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
I promise. It's a thing, and like all my investors keep using gray, and I'm like, okay, but I'm just letting you know, like we're over it, you know. So gray floors, gray walls, gray cabinets, gray countertops. It's trending out. Neutrals, more like cream tones, and like earthy. And I say earthy, people think, well, gray is an earth tone, like, but is it? It's really not. Like, I know that we say that it is, but like when I think of earth tones, I think of like browns and creams and like dirt, you know?
Beige.
Yes. So, just that's my tip of the day is grays are trending out and neutrals and warmer colors are coming back. And I'm not like a big fan of it either. Like I don't love browns.
Yeah.
But creams are great. Beiges, pewters, those are in. So my tip of the day, if you're an investor and you're listening, or you're a homeowner and you want to do some updates, that's my tip.
One earth tone I've been using, and I'll give it if you guys want to try it. It's a color called Garden Vista. It's Sherwin-Williams color, I think, and it's called Garden Vista, and it's kind of like a beigeish, greenish type of color.
I can get with that.
And it's definitely earthy.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Greens are good.
That's as much design advice as you'll ever get out of me.
Got it.
But yeah.
I think we can wrap up. So we did good. This was good. We missed Rick. Sorry he can't be here, but thank you for filling in for him.
No problem.
And this is just a shout out to all of our partners, which is Women Invest in Real Estate. Make sure that you go to their event that is happening on Thursday. And they're a big partner of ours, and they do amazing, and we love the women on that team, so they crush it. Investor Source CLE, Jay Bella, who else is on there? I can't see.
Equity CMG, Iconic Partners, eXp Realty, and Spread the Love.
Oh, yeah. And Wayne.
And Wayne.
So thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys next month.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
The proceeding was a paid informational program. The views and opinions expressed were not necessarily those of the staff, management, or advertisers of WOBL Radio.
1320 AM.